So this popular Nigerian musician was online yesterday venting out some of his life challenges. Number one is the problem he had with his manager. But the one I really want to talk about is the problem he had with his wife, because his wife has also come out to reply. But I want you to pick something because I saw many bloggers talking on it, but nobody picked the core message there. All right. So he was saying his former manager or whatever colleague in the music industry refused to pay him his royalties. Usually that means that the musician needs money to run his family, you know. So his wife has responded. He said that his wife, the mother of his wife, was married to 7 men, something like that, basically multiple marriages. And then now he's having issue with his wife. And he had to ask the wife to leave the house. I don't know the actual issue. The wife has come out to say that no, her mother only married to 2 men, and his own mother had 6 children for 6 different men. So they're accusing their own parents, their own mothers, of being with multiple men. And now both of them, which is a product of all these accusations, married. Did you expect the marriage to work? Nah. There is no strong foundation for it. I'm assuming that what they said about each other is true. Where is the foundation? In Igbo land, we'll say, Ogeji ofonye emeya. Like if you want to do something, an Igbo person will ask you, which mantle? Do you understand? Which mantle? Whose grace are you going to use to do it? Are you getting where I'm going to now? So in their own case, they are coming from backgrounds that have marital challenges. And as you can see, if you have been following me, if you have been where I treated topics on generational patterns, bro, that generational pattern has repeated itself again. Guess what? I think he has 2 or 3 daughters with the woman. Now his wife, the daughters are going to grow up in a broken family where they see their father only once in a weekend or once in a month, whatever visitation agreements they had. And when they marry, the same thing will happen again. If I say this now, they will say I'm a prophet of doom. But this is a pattern, starting from their mothers. And if we go back again, if we go back to grandmother, you might be surprised it started from there. So you watching now, I'm not saying if you find yourself in a bad marriage, you should not go. But remember that once you leave, you have actually either recreated a generational pattern that has already been there in your family, or you have created a new one that your children will suffer. Don't be surprised in 20, 30 years time, your daughter carries her bag and her children and shows up in your house. Waiting happen, marriage don't end. Now, if your marriage breaks, 95%, any marriage can break, all right? Different reasons, all right? But 95% of it is that you chose the wrong person to start with. And sometimes that wrong person might be a good person, but they are not just compatible. You are not compatible with them. Are you getting what I'm saying? That's why sometimes it even makes sense. If you know that you're coming from a family where there's a lot of challenges, marital challenges, different families have different challenges. There's no perfect family. There's no perfect family anywhere. People just cover up shit, you know. If your own is marital challenges, you need to get advice of people before you marry. Sometimes recommendation of people. Let people who have stayed in marriage for a long time do the recommendation for you. If you go by what you know, that thing you know will lead you to marry somebody that will break up again. Do you get what I'm saying? Because some signs, some telltale signs, some red flags that a person from a good home will see, you will not see it. Do you understand? Like some days ago, some people were arguing, or somebody quoted online that if you're not arguing in your relationship, then that's not a good relationship. Can you imagine that? This is the orientation this guy had, probably coming from a very toxic relationship, multiple breakups and everything. He thinks that's how a relationship is supposed to go. I'm telling you, there are many marriages that there's no argument. If there's an issue, husband and wife will sit down and discuss it. Okay, so if we do this one, it will not be good. Let's do that one. Da, 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 da. Reasonably, they both arrange and move. Nobody they concert to any issue. There are many marriages like that. If you're in Nigeria, how many times do you see husband and wife fighting? I was asking somebody the other day because he was thinking that the marital challenges that people face in the West, like in UK, US, where they have high divorce rates, is the same thing with Nigeria. I say, how many times with your two eyes have you seen husband and wife fighting? Very rare. Me, it's just like once in my whole life. How many times in your neighborhood do you hear husband and wife quarreling inside their house? How many times? Extremely rare. Maybe once, twice. In my whole life. Like once. Most marriages are good. If you marry the right person, every decision you're coming up with and the one they're coming up with will just be flowing. Do you understand? But if you're coming from a toxic home where your mom is always quarreling your father and they have broken up, they married this one, married this one, they did it, you would think as a child that is born into that kind of chaotic environment, battlefield, you would think that if it's not a battlefield, it's not a safe relationship. What will happen is that the girl that you are dating that is not giving you problem, you think she's too dull. Or the man that you are dating that is not giving you think he's a good guy. I don't like good guys. Before you know it, you go and pick violence and marry. They beat you inside the marriage, beat you. And as they're beating you, you want to stay because you saw your mom staying. They beat you till they beat you to death. Marita, this is a generational curse. So if you watch that video where I talked about generational causes, generational patterns, I advise people as an adult, one of the first things you have to do is to heal. There are people that they don't know their father, but once they become an adult, they start tracing. They want to go and meet the man. Why? They want to see where they came from. So that you can now connect it to things that are happening in your life. Many things that are happening in your life now are just repetitions of what happened to your parents. Nearly word for word, if they write your father's history, write your own, you will start seeing where things are matching. The person you wanted to marry, he didn't marry the person, now married the wrong person, this, that. Look at your life, it's the same thing is repeating. Even health challenges. If you don't find out what killed your father or your mother and trace it down to the core, find out what that thing will come for you. Once you reach that age, you may not even reach that age before it comes for you. So you have to heal as an adult. If you're a child, you may be oblivious of some of these things. You may not know. But as an adult, before, one of the core things you have to do for yourself is find out what really happened in the past. What was the cause? What are the trigger points? In that video, I gave an example with 50 Cent. His mother, he didn't know his father. His mother died from a drug deal that was gone wrong. So his mother was found dead in her apartment. So 50 Cent vows never to take drugs. He doesn't take alcohol. He's just now as an older guy that he, occasionally might take it at a distance, at a party. According to him, said his whole young age he avoided alcohol like a plague. Same thing with Donald Trump. His senior brother, he said his senior brother is more handsome than him, more articulate, more loved. Trump has a kind of personality that is either you like him or you hate him. He said his senior brother is far better than him in everything, but the guy was a drunkard. On one of those nights, the guy drank and drove and crashed and ended his own life. Because of that, till today, Trump does not drink coffee. Trump does not drink alcohol. Trump does not smoke. He avoided that. So you have to find what is it that is a trigger point for that recurring generational issues. Many men will end up marrying women that are exactly like their mother. Character for character, they match. Many women will marry somebody like their father. If your father was beating your mother, the man you eventually choose, of all the guys that are approaching you, you reject all of them. The one you instinctively choose is the one that looks like your father, that will beat the shit out of you. If you don't heal, you will not be able to recognize that pattern in that man on time till you marry the person. This is the problem they are facing. They are both innocent. It's coming